Up, up.
And away! Hi everyone, let's talk about Supergirl Season 2, Episode 1, The Adventures of Supergirl. Before we jump into the review, I did want to mention that we are going to be having a live Q&A about this episode on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to join us.
If you want to make sure you don't miss it, make sure you turn on your post notifications so you get notified as soon as we go live so you can join us and talk to us. Let's start with some quick thoughts.
Yes.
Miss Tessmacher is the assistant of Cat Grant. Now, for those of you who don't know, Miss Tessmacher is actually a known character in the Superman universe because in the movies, she was the assistant of none other than Lex Luthor.
I love that Wynn is now working at the DEO. And knows Kryptonian, apparently, right? Or he's learning Kryptonian? I feel like it's just nice to see him kind of evolve and just taking on new duties and just being around new things.
Quite a promotion.
Yes. I also really enjoy when Kara and Martian Manhunter like team up and go fight things. I'm like, this is so exciting because she has like someone that she can work with. I mean, sure, she has Superman this episode, but he's not going to stick around.
I also found it really funny how Lois is apparently keeping tabs on Clark. Are you safe? Are you okay? Make sure there's no kryptonite. So it's cute. I'm wondering when we're gonna see her.
Are we gonna see her?
We're definitely gonna see her.
So far, there's been no announcement for it.
Yeah, but that's like for sure we're gonna see it.
Kara is going to be a reporter. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It just felt like this whole time, you know, Kat was like waiting for her to discover her true purpose kind of thing. It's a mixed bag.
Since you're bringing up Cat Grant, though, I actually kind of liked her pep talks and, you know, her trying to help Kara find her passion in life or just what she really wants to do. Usually I'm not like a huge fan of Cat Grant,
yeah, same.
But in this episode, I was like, I like you, Cat Grant. Good one.
The cynic in me thinks that because we know Callista Flockhart is actually not going to be part of the regular cast this season, they probably wanted to give her a little bit of a bigger role, a bigger, you know, moment in these last episodes in which she's gonna be in. I mean, honestly, so far, her character has always been, you know, abusive, nice. Abusive, nice. This is sort of like her, like, this was all for a reason, you know? I've been like this to push you, you know? Which is a mixed message, and I'm not sure that we want to say that. But that's not the point. Point is, I do think that they are giving her more because it's kind of her final episodes, and we are going to find out in the next few episodes what are her plans.
We do know that she's bringing in a new editor to Catco that will be a new mentor to Kara in some ways, and in other ways just, you know, kind of, I guess this is a new Cat Grant, really. But I think that's why there was something that was bothering, you know, Kat in this episode, and I think this leading up to, well, I won't be around as much.
I do find that it's interesting that Superman was having a conversation with Perry White, and they seem to have that same sort of like, you know, Perry White just being this sort of like abusive, mean kind of boss, but he does it for a reason, that kind of stuff, and then, you know, Clark is taking it, and that's his role. I get that it's from the comic books, and I get that they're trying to bring it here. It's just a little bit annoying in the 21st century that this kind of behavior is still acceptable. And people think that that's actually like being a good manager. It's not. Just so we're clear, it's really not.
Moving on to Kara and James. Okay, I'm sorry, but what the hell happened? Literally from one day to the next, she's like, I love you so much. Oh yeah, I'm not really sure. I think we should just be friends.
It is literally one day from the next. Like literally, it was the next day.
Like
the next day.
What happened? I'm like,
24 hours had not passed.
This made absolutely no sense to me. Like, no sense. You know, if it was like 3 months later and she was like, you know, that's cool. But like, what? Like, really?
She's really annoyed about this. It kills me.
She what?
It's so funny that you're annoyed about this.
I am, because it makes no sense. We spent this whole time. She spent this whole time going like, she really, really wanted to be with James. It was like her soulmate or whatever. And then now she's like, I've thought about it. Like, in the past 12 hours, I really think we should be friends. Like, after years of wanting to be with it, or months, you know.
Here's what I was reading out of this. It's like, look, there's been a few months. We're in a new network, you know. Things are fresh, you know. The network execs want something else. So, you and I, it's not gonna work. But here's the thing. In a few episodes, I'm gonna be doing another crossover with Flash, because that's really worked out super well last time. And maybe, I don't know, Flash and Kara.
You know, Barry and Kara.
Carrie.
Yeah, we you know, in case you don't know, Americ is like a big shipper of Barry and Kara. Carrie, as we like to call them.
Yes,
Look, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think, yeah, absolutely. If you want to have, like, Barry and Kara be a thing, that's great. It still didn't make sense that from one day to the next, she was, like, just changing her mind. Like, I think for me, I think what I'm thinking is happening is, like you said, they're just, you know, kind of changing directions. But also maybe because there's, like, it's similar to what I said about Flash. It's, like, Iris and Barry, ultimately that's who they're gonna be. They're gonna be a couple. But in the meantime, it's always more interesting to have, like, will they, won't they? Then when they are together, usually
it's possible.
Not that interesting. So maybe they're like, well, we have all these other characters now that we could, you know, put her with. But the way they did it didn't make any sense to me, though.
The way they did it for me is like Friend Zone 1000. So it's hard to come back from that, right? It's not one of those things where, you know, there's a little bit of ambiguity. And she was kind of like,
I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. What is this? What is this?
This is Sandrine Americ, guys. Like, usually that's me, but this is her.
Anyway, moving on to Lina Luther, or how I like to call her, Morgana from Merlin, played by Kitty McGrath, who's amazing.
Yes.
I love her. I'm so excited she's in the show. So apparently she's a good Luther, and she's trying to change the company around. Yeah, are you shaking your head?
No.
Do you have your suspicions?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Like,
Me too.
Lex was trying to kill her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, I don't know.
I'm surprised that they didn't actually come out and just flat out say, oh, she was behind it all along.
Oh, and for us, the audience?
Yeah, for us, the audience, because it's so obvious.
I guess we've seen too many shows that were like, of course she's behind it.
Yeah.
They're gonna play her really nice, and then at the last minute they're gonna be like, surprise, she was being along. Or they're gonna be like, surprise, she was really nice, and we're gonna be like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, did not see that coming.
Oh, yeah, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion. Only a matter of time. And I wouldn't actually be surprised if we actually get to see guest starring from Mr. Lex Luthor.
Oh.
Which should also be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Moving on to Metallo, who's a new villain.
Yeah.
This season, created
went from
by
assassin to powered assassin now.
He's gonna be, I guess, a new villain this season, created by some sort of corporation or secrets.
You mean L-Corp?
L-Corp, yeah.
You know it's L-Corp.
You know it's L-Corp.
You know it's L-Corp.
So apparently he's gonna be a kryptonite powered superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
Which is gonna be very bad for Kara.
Yeah, Kara's gonna have a tough time with that one.
Yeah, and he's gonna appear in at least 2 episodes. Superman / Clark Kent. I feel like that was a big event of
/ Derek from Teen Wolf.
Derek from Teen Wolf, yeah. Derek left, and it's like,
yeah, he became Superman.
What'd you think?
I loved it. I loved the character. I didn't like Clark Kent as much. I mean, it was cool and everything, but I love Superman. Yeah. Like, for real. I just, for me, he was just classic, just what I think Superman is. And I think Tyler Hoechlin was a perfect cast for it, but I feel like you were like, eh.
No, I liked him fine, and I think I was explaining to you my issue is that, you know, I like Henry Cavill better, which I guess is not a fair comparison because it's not even the same universe.
No.
But I think it's not that I think he's a better actor or whatnot. I think I was just explaining that I tend to like gritty superheroes better. And for me, he was a little too like nice. And I was like, oh, I want him to be like, you know, grittier, like more depressed, more like Batman, I guess. Which is not the, I'm like, Sandrine, this is not the show, obviously. It makes no sense tone-wise.
I do think that there's room for that.
This.
I do think that there's room for that. Because if you think about it, okay, here's the thing, right? Like, you like, you know, Superman to be gritty and everything, but you kind of saw that, especially in his interaction with Martian Hunter. You kind of saw that he was really pissed, which is one of the reasons why he doesn't work with the DEO, right? He said, you guys have the means of killing me and my cousin, and I cannot work with you for that. And by the way, I completely understand Martian Super Hunters
I understand both sides.
I completely understand his point of view. He's like, look, you can destroy us all. We need one way to be able to fight. There's red kryptonite. He could absolutely lose it. And I did see that tension being there. And it explains why he's basically not working with it. There's something that I saw in that moment where they were having that, where I was like, ooh, I think that's interesting because it could cause a rift between him and Supergirl at some level if it becomes Superman versus Supergirl, which is definitely gonna come. Like as a storyline, it's begging to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for now he's only gonna be in 2 episodes, so
yeah,
we'll see.
After this, he's coming back.
Yeah. I was really excited that even though Superman was in this episode, I didn't feel like he took over
That's true.
Supergirl. Like I didn't care less about Supergirl. I wasn't like, oh, I'd rather just watch Superman. I was like, no, I want to watch Supergirl and what's going on with her. So I thought that was really cool because I was like, well, I like both of them. I like that he's here, but this is still Supergirl, so I care about her mostly. What's in the pod?
What's in the pod?
It's a new Kryptonian, but not really. So the new character is played by Chris Wood. We don't really know who he is. We know that he seems to have similar abilities as Kara,
which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Superman, and he's in a pod that was like the one that Supergirl came to Earth with. From my research, the character is gonna be Mon-El, who's a superhero with similar powers to Supergirl. He was apparently an explorer who landed on Krypton, where Zor-El warned him of the planet's imminent destruction and provided him a map to Earth, and apparently he suffered amnesia arriving on Earth. So it's possible that even if he wakes up, he's not gonna really remember who he is.
So that's what we thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? What do you think of Superman in the Supergirl series? And what do you think of Kara's new job and future?
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more Supergirl videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.